I did something last year that my children thought was completely out of my mind. I checked myself into a nursing home, not because I had to, because I wanted to know the truth. I'm 86 years old. I live alone. And for years I've been talking about health, about independence, about staying in your own home as long as you possibly can. But I realized I had never actually been inside one of those places. Not as a resident, not really. So I went. 3 days, a room on the second floor, a window facing a parking lot. I brought my own pillow. I ate what they served. I slept when the lights went down and woke up when they came back on. And what I saw in those 72 hours changed something in me permanently. Some of it wasn't what I expected. Some of it was worse. And there were 3 things I discovered that nobody tells you. Not the brochures, not the staff, not the families who visit on Sunday afternoons with flowers and good intentions. I'm going to tell you all 3 right now. The first thing that hit me was the sound. I expected quiet. I expected something calm and clinical. What I got was a television in every room, not softly, loudly, running all day, all evening. Not because the residents had chosen it, because it was simply on, because silence, apparently, was something that needed to be filled. I lay on that bed the first afternoon listening to 3 different programs, bleeding through 3 different walls. And I thought, this is what it means to disappear into noise that was never yours. The second thing was the schedule. Breakfast at 7:30, lunch at noon, dinner at 5, lights dimmed by 8. Everything decided, everything arranged, not cruelly, carefully, by people who genuinely believed that routine was a form of kindness. But I sat next to a woman named Gloria at dinner, 79 years old, sharp, warm, fully present, and she was pushing food around her plate with the expression of someone who had only recently understood that no one was going to ask her what she wanted for dinner ever again. I didn't sleep well that night. I kept thinking about Gloria. By the second day, I had found what I came for. 3 things. 3 truths nobody says out loud. The first, the loneliness inside a nursing home is a completely different kind from living alone. When you live alone, the silence belongs to you. You chose it, or you're learning to live with it, but it's yours. You can end it whenever you want. In that building, the loneliness was communal. 40 people in the same hallways, eating at the same tables, watching the same screen, and each one quietly, separately, alone. Not because the staff didn't care, they did. But there are only so many hours in a shift and so many people in a corridor. The second truth. Losing small decisions destroys something in a person faster than any illness. What time you wake up, whether you want the window open, what you eat for breakfast, whether you feel like talking or want to be left alone. These things seem small until someone takes them away, and then you understand they were never small. They were the architecture of who you are. I watched a man named Bernard spend 20 minutes trying to explain to a kind, busy aide that he didn't want sugar in his coffee. She had already moved on before he finished the sentence. He looked at that coffee for a long time after. The third truth, and this is the one I came home thinking about most. The people who were doing best in that building all had one thing in common. They had something that still needed them. One woman had taught herself to knit at 84 and was making scarves for her grandchildren. One man wrote letters, real letters, by hand, to people he'd known his whole life. One woman, 91 years old, ran what she called the book table, a small cart of paperbacks she organized and recommended to anyone who passed. These people moved differently, talked differently. They hadn't disappeared into the schedule. Something was pulling them forward. On the third morning, I packed my bag and sat with Gloria one last time before my daughter arrived. I asked her what she missed most. She didn't hesitate. My kitchen, not her house, not her garden. Her kitchen, the weight of her own pots, the smell of her own coffee, the particular morning light through her own window. She held on a little longer than I expected when I hugged her goodbye. In the car on the way home, my daughter asked me what I had learned. I told her, I learned that independence isn't stubbornness. It isn't pride. It's something you protect because losing it, losing the right to make your own small decisions, to sit in your own kitchen, to choose your own silence, losing that changes who you are, faster than anyone warns you. And I learned that the people who hold on to themselves the longest are the ones who keep something going, something unfinished, something that still needs them. That is what keeps you out of a place like that. Not perfect health, not luck, not money, a reason to still be someone. I'm 86 years old. I live in my own house. I make my own coffee at whatever time I feel like it. I went into that building voluntarily. I came out not with fear, but with clarity. The nursing home doesn't begin when you move in. It begins the day you stop having something that needs you. So find it, protect it, show up for it every single morning. Whatever it is, a garden, a grandchild, a group of people waiting to hear your voice, let it be the thing that keeps you in your own kitchen. That's the truth I went looking for. And now you have it too.